Let's get it. Let's get it. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Vader Games in the building. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. Please let me know in the comments real quick that the levels are right. Got to make sure everything's properly set up. But I'm happy to be back. And I'm happy for the love. You know what I got to do? First things first, my peoples come first. My peoples, those with us and those that are no longer here, we remember them. We we go. So, got a lot to cover. Got a lot to cover. First, I'm gonna say this. Apologies for the hiatus. You saw the walk intro. My legs fully recovered as of this past Tuesday. The surgeon said I am clear. Don't need to see him for another year. Everything's been really good. Strength is good. Mobility is good. So I'm back and I can sit comfortably. You know, my leg being bent straight, there's no issue. So to be able to do 45 to an hour shows on the regular, we're here. We're going to be doing that. Now, I got to go to the first in the comments. I got to see who showed the love the first from the jump, from the very beginning. And the first to show the love on Vader Games TV, by the way, episode 92. And we're gonna do a Manchester City Bournemouth preview. We're gonna discuss everything here on the left-hand side. You know how I like to present it, right? Let me stay on track so you know what we cover. If you happen to be listening, thank you. If you happen to be watching as well, you know what's coming down the pipeline. I'm gonna make sure to let you know what's happening. Also, make sure that you tune in to the topics that you find of interest, and also point out, let me know in the comments, Vader, we need to know more of this. Vader, I haven't heard you talk about this, or you talked about this on one of the other shows that you featured on. But again, on the shows that I feature on, it's a panel. Sometimes I don't get a chance to say everything that I need to say. And when I'm on the American Waffle, you know that they like to throw me up in that cell, so they don't want the Manchester City points to come through. They don't want Vader to spit. So on this show, we got the time. Ask me the questions. But let me shout out the very first in the comments that showed love. DC showing love. Thank you so much. She's a real one. She goes, Vader's shows are back. Holland's back. All's right with the world. That's right, DC. All's right. And we're going to get into it. I'm going to speak about this. Holland is the factor. All right. All the rivals, all the haters want to talk about City don't look the same. We'll get into that. We aren't at our best. But I'm going to tell you what the recipe is. And let me shout out those in the comments real quick. And as this show grows, as the members grow, as the subscriptions grow, all of that jazz, I'm still going to do my part to shout out the comments as best as I can to keep in flow with the show. Listen, Letty, what up? Hi V, thank you so much. True City fan, my guy, legend. True in every sense of the word. True City fan, thank you, my guy. My G, StaffyTV, American Waffle. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, even though he's a Manchester United guy, and part of his heart can't help himself on hating on City, but he has a fantastic channel, fantastic show. Check him out. Staffy, what up? Showing some love in the comments. And let me point out, Marvin, finally Vader Games has come back to YouTube, The Rock's voice. I hear you. Actually, you know what? Let me do it right, Marvin. Finally, Vader has come back to YouTube. And we're going to get it popping today. Mancunian Way in the building. Afternoon, mate. And I'm going to send out the link. For my Manchester City peeps. Jump on join in on the panel and have the conversation going. We got a lot to discuss, but I just want to get through this kind of flow a little bit because it has been a minute. Let me get my form back, right? Let me get back into, how I like to do it. And again, it's different. The reason why the show was called Why Always Me is because I always felt like my approach to watching the game, my approach to even breaking it down, analyzing it was different, right? I often got dismissed. And obviously, covering football and speaking to, those across the pond, once they hear the North American accent, they're like, who's this guy? But the Why Always Me was just so fitting. And I seem to have some takes, some, positions on what I think football or the game, how's it played, reactions. It's kind of off, or it's not the norm. So I thought it was fitting. And I'm going to get that. I'm going to share that with you guys today. Smash those likes. Thank you so much. I'm going to do my best to repeat it. I'm not going to track it. I'm going to trust on you. If I happen to say something, right, whether it's the energy level, whether it's how things are formatted, whether it's the topics, if there's something, once there's something on the screen, something in your ear that you like, hit the like button. It's that simple. Dudley, good afternoon, morning out here for me. But yes, Dudley, we're back, man. We're back. Yeah, it's good. It's good. All right. I see. Vader is back. Real lit content. Thank you, man. Thank you. I want to shout out everyone in the comments as well with the love. Staffy goes, I'm a big fan, Vader. Love your show. Love your shows on American Waffle every Monday. Yes. Listen. This Monday in particular is going to be a hot one, right? Because things have happened in the Champions League. City play tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of results that we're going to have to break down. So don't miss me on Monday's show. Daniel, I am alive, man. I am alive. Listen, based off of the walkthrough, and I'm going to add that to the mix. I got to jazz it up. I got to have some proper intro music and everything like that. But I walked in because I want to show you guys the legs healed well. My quad has healed really well. And I'm going to be able to help my minions. They got track season coming up. So I'll be able to demonstrate hurdling and everything like that. So I'm back. All right. Let's get it. Now, topics here on the screen. Holland is the factor. Now, let me remove that because we're now live. And I'm going to get into why these topics are what I want to cover today and why this man is going to be so key. All right. So just so you know, and for those of you listening more so than watching, let me say this out loud. First topic is City, one game at a time. Next up, Bournemouth. All right. Next up is Bournemouth. And the reason why that's going to be so key is because we're running out of games. The season's it's closing, right? There's only so many games left. We've played 25 games. We still have a game in hand. Liverpool have already played. We're even with regards to Arsenal. We're a point up on Arsenal, and we're 4 points behind on Liverpool, but obviously a game behind. But the fact that we've played 25, every game counts now, right? Every game counts. We are to play 38 games. That means 13 games are left. There's no messing around. And there's no we're looking ahead of things. We're going to just presume that we're winning these games automatic, regardless of who's in front of us. This is the Premier League, the EPL. No disrespect. Even with regards to Champions League, there's no disrespect. We respect our ops, those that are in front of us. Bournemouth is not going to be an easy game. And the reason why I want to stress that it's not going to be an easy game is because games are coming, what is it? Thick and fast. Fixtures are getting really congested right now. And like all clubs, we have injury concerns, right? We've got to pay attention to that. So let me send out the link real quick to my peeps in CIA and get this shared, because I think it'd be a really good conversation to have with the crew. And I want to be careful, right? Because it's been a minute since we spoke. I want to share my point of view. I also want to hear theirs. But we're gonna stay on track with it. So let me copy this real quick. And please let me know in the comments how y'all have been. Let me make sure you guys are all good. I see my guy TJ, another American Waffle, and he's got a fantastic channel. Even though he's an op, right? Even though he's an Arsenal op, he's a good guy. Can't lie. He goes, big up Vader, smash the likes, people. Get Vader to 500 subs ASAP. I humbly request and ask that you help me get to 500, and then on and on and on. Listen, you know what? Whenever I feature on another channel, and I cook them, right? In some instances it requires a cooking. Sometimes we're just breaking down football. But if I happen to cook, and I know you're an op, but if I happen to cook, come over to the channel, hit a subscribe. All right, let me go. My CIA people. And for those of you that don't know, CIA stands for CE, Intelligent Agendas, right? No lazy takes, right? We go with the agendas that stick, the agendas that just get under that rib of the rivals. That's what we break down on CIA. So tune in and check that out. I've noticed that rivals were checking it out in the past so that they can get one step ahead before I would feature on their show and know what would be discussed. But we're going to be bringing back the CIA. Let me post this real quick. All right. Now, Daniel, I love that topic, one game at a time. Only focus should be on Bournemouth away. Daniel, 100%. Let me put this back on screen because we got to take one game at a time. We got to deal with Bournemouth. And the reason why I'm going to actually put this on screen is that we need to be really careful. And maybe you guys would agree or disagree with this, but this is how I'm feeling going into the Bournemouth game. And I'm just going to do a really brief preview, but this is where I'm feeling. And obviously it's with regards to injuries. It's with regards to, I see my man True City Fan in the building backstage. Let me bring him to the stage right now. Let me bring him to the stage because we're gonna have to discuss this. Patrick, True City Fan, you are on the show. Vader Games TV. Why always me? Thanks for joining, man. How you been?
I'm good, man. I was waiting for this for so long, so it's here. So I put it on notification just to make sure I don't miss it. So
I love that.
I'm here, man. Enjoying the intro, man. How are you?
I'm good. Like I said, it took a while to kind of get back, and I wanted to pick my spots, but yeah, seriously, I met with the surgeon on Tuesday, and he said, "Listen, Vader, you're healthy, man. Like everything checks out, the mobility, the strength's there, so you're clear. I don't need to see you for a year, so I'm good. I'm going to take that, and now how I'm going to manage work, family, and the show, we're good, and I want to get this show popping. So thanks for joining, man.
Good, man.
I'm not
Thanks
sure
for having me, man.
Yeah, and again, for those of you in the chat or just tuning in, Patrick has been managing things on his end as well. We're all wishing him speedy recovery. Strong individual, and it sounds like you've been doing well and also seeing the amazing content that he puts out. So if you haven't, his channel details are in the description. So make sure you check that out, as well as everyone that I feature on. All right, the love is spread amongst those that I do content with. So please check them out in the description and support the channel. Listen, man, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm gonna speak out loud. I put the formation on the screen.
I can see it, man. I can see it.
Okay, so for Bournemouth, knowing, and let me say this for Bournemouth, and for those that are listening, again, I had to put this up because we play on Saturday. Okay, after we play on Saturday, we then play on the 27th, Tuesday, against Luton Town. FA Cup, 5th round. All right? That's going to be a tough game. We're playing there. We know how difficult they can be. And March 3rd, which would be 4 days later, we play on Sunday, and we play Manchester United. So my man StaffyTV, subscribe. And he showed some love in the chat. We are playing him a week from now, almost, and that's going to be a tough game. So I'm thinking of how we manage the players, like who plays Bournemouth, who maybe rests Luton Town, and then who plays United. So that's where my thinking's coming from. Knowing all of that, would you change anything? Would you see it differently in terms of who would be your starting 11?
Nah, I don't think there's anything different. Like whoever plays, it doesn't matter. I think at this point in time, it's one game at a time, as you said it yourself, one game at a time. So you have to first get over the game. I think now I understand why Pep Guardiola doesn't pick and choose which game he has to come through like full strength. Obviously, sometimes it's like, okay, I'm gonna rest somebody because maybe the doctors have told me they might have a knock. But man, to be honest with you, looking at this lineup, all I'm looking at right now as I'm looking at this lineup is Kovacic and Rodri staying as a double, then Foden being free in that pocket, doing whatever he does best, causing trouble. And if we need so, Doku and Haaland forming a two, and then if we need more help in the midfield, Bernardo Silva dropping back in. So you're cooking with this lineup. And I know a lot of people, I've seen the whole topic has been Doku. Let's not forget Doku dunked on this man very badly. He could have scored 5 and he dunked on them. So right now, if you were smart as a manager, you're putting Doku, even though he doesn't perform, Bournemouth will be scared. They'll be like, this is the boy that cooked us. So they'll double up on him, leave space for other players. So this is a cooking lineup, man. And Kovacic coming in that midfield brings calm that we've been missing. We've been missing a lot of calm.
So let me give my rationale, and I like how you broke that down, and I see you in the comments, Daniel as well. So with regards to Oscar Bob deserving a start, I agree in terms of the run of games recently, but like Patrick said, True City Fan said, let's remember what Doku did to them. Doku lit them up, and we know this as players. Sometimes players just show up for whatever reason. It happens to be, for example, Bernardo Silva with Liverpool, or Foden and United. You know what I mean? Like these guys just, for whatever reason, there's a team that they show up for.
Riyad Mahrez with Bournemouth.
Riyad Mahrez for Bournemouth. And I think the way Doku it wasn't his debut, but the way he played against them, I'm like, oh, let's see it again, right? Let's kind of test it there. And again, if it's like rotation, like I'm seeing in the comments, maybe Oscar Bob does come on for giving rest to Doku, but I want to see him cook again against them. And you spotted it early. The Kovacic and Rodri I think it kind of relieves Rodri of he doesn't have to do as much running. He can kind of fall back a little bit. I'm seeing in the comments that some also said to maybe take out Akanji and put in Stones. My concern just with Stones is I need my man healthy. And he's been in and out of the lineup. So I'm just kind of protecting him there. But this would be my 11. I'm going to make sure that I kind of post it, share it in the comments. Those on Twitter, X, you guys can interact with that. But I just wanted to do a really brief preview of Bournemouth. And the thing is, it is one game at a time, but we got to keep in the kilometers logged by some of these players, the efforts that's going to be put in. But Bernardo Silva versatility, Foden versatility, and controlling that midfield. I wouldn't be mad if Pep decided to start Oscar Bob, but again, I think Doku should cook because he cooked them last time. And if someone wants to change it out and put in Akanji instead, I'm not too mad at that. We can unleash Doku in the second half when they're defense. That's a good point too. Not mad either way. Let's move. All right, I'm trying to do this nice and clean. Vader game. Now, I'm going to take this off screen. I'm hearing feedback on you, True City Fan.
Oh, is it feedback? Is it like...
I just heard an echo. Yeah, an echo.
Is it still echoing?
No, now it's gone.
Oh, it's gone, yeah.
Okay, nice. All right. We got to discuss this. Everyone, City fans, obviously rivals. City don't look like their best. City don't look right. Something's off. Many, I'm not saying scapegoating, but many want to say the reason why City have been off is because Pep is being stubborn. He keeps playing Alvarez. Pep is forcing Walker to play with instructions that don't really suit him. Pep is having Akanji do what we know Stones can do. There's a lot of things where, fans, rivals are questioning Pep. They're questioning the greatest manager in the world. They're questioning the man that's won a 3-peat treble. And, of course, question the manager. But let's also question the manager and know what the manager's been doing for a few years now. And it's the last topic on the screen, so I'm going to allude to it a little bit. But we aren't new to this. City fans, we aren't new to this. Rivals. Pep, he keeps tinkering. Pep keeps, let me challenge this player and see what they can do. Let me see if these instructions can work. Listen, I think a couple of these platinums here was because of what Pep did last season with the 2 fullback and inverted. The way we suffered that draw versus Newcastle, right? A lot of things happened last season where we couldn't figure it out. Even when he was constantly playing Walker high and wide, like what was happening, right? But I think Pep does this to try and see whether they can follow instructions, but also for them to have to develop a skill set for when it will be needed. All right. I think this is what's happening right now. And I'm just going to deal with why we don't look like our best. And I'm going to explain why later. But why we don't look like our best is because we lost some very key players last season that many want to compare us to. They want to compare what City looked like last year. And the reason why it's so lazy to me, the reason why CIA was invented is because we don't want the lazy agendas. Of course, it's easy to say City don't look like last season when we lose quality players like Gundogan, right? The man was instrumental. He was here from the beginning with Pep. He understood what needed to be done or how it needed to be done in and out. When you lose a player like that, of course there's going to be a drop-off. When you lose Mahrez, not only just because I know last season he didn't play as many games, but he was obviously there and available. And when he really came into play, he didn't really drop a beat. The most he got in terms of criticism was not really tracking back defensively or not being direct as much as he could. But he was obviously always quality, and he always kept the width on that pitch because anything, I don't care how you kicked it, could be the wildest shot possible. That man's touch was nasty. Pause. All right? That first touch with regards to whatever ball was sent over to him, he controlled it easily. So all that being said, of course, we're not going to look like our best. Of course, we're not going to look like last season. But it's because there's a plan there. And I think if we are to look better, Pep does need to, as much as he's challenging Alvarez right now, to develop a skill set. And I'm not killing Alvarez over it, but he's not a true 10. He could play off of the striker. He can be a second striker, but he's not a 10. He's not comfortable in that midfield, helping to relieve pressure. He's not comfortable really in terms of his creativity. Although he did give that excellent assist to Holland in our last game against Brentford. But I think the Alvarez is part of it. I think because of the Alvarez, it also displaces Foden. So that's why we don't look like our best either. And then we can earlier in the season when Gavardio was healthy and we saw him playing more left back than Ake, that was, I think, a little disruptive. So those are all things that we can see Pep challenging the players to be prepared for, challenging the players to kind of develop, because I think those are things needed. And the last point that I'm going to bring up is Akanji. Akanji's there on the screen. He's played that inverted role like what we saw Stones do. And of course, Akanji's year 2. Stones been here. Stones knows what Pep wants, and we saw them on the sideline exchanging ideas and feedback, and Akanji's not there yet. But I think Pep knows, and this is me, I'm on the sideline, well, what do I know? All right. But I'm like, I don't want to have to only be able to run a system or have a set of instructions with one player. Because if that player goes out, I'm screwed. If that player can't play or can only play partial of the game, I'm done. Now I gotta have a completely different approach based off of personnel and not the instructions that I want to execute against the opposition. So Akanji's being challenged right now to do what Stones did. And he's not comfortable with it, but he's getting there, and he's getting better each time. And I think it's insurance. It's insurance if we don't have Stones that we can actually have a player to do something very similar. Let me go to the comments. Some people fail to understand that most of Pep's signings don't hit the ground running. We need to give Nunez, Kovacic, and Doku time to fully understand his ideas. 100%. Letty, 100%. Like, it's just so lazy. It's so lazy, and then they want to say, "Oh, here's City fans talking about, oh, you need a 1 year with Pep." Da da da. Okay, but you've seen it. Do you know how? Do you know how Mahrez was crushed? Not only by our fan base, but by rivals. Year one, oh, Pep's wasting him. Well, he doesn't even look like the way he did at Leicester. Oh, Pep signs Rodri. Look at what he's doing. He's rotting on the bench. He can't even play. He's way off of Fernandinho. These are all things year one. Even Grealish. Grealish didn't have the best year one, but year two, was he crucial for us? Right? So the same patience, same understanding needs to be applied to those players you mentioned, Luddy. Nunez, Kovacic, Doku. Listen, they need that time. Not everyone's going to hit it like Haaland and Alvarez. Again, those are strikers. So in terms of playing a role or getting acclimated, that happens a lot easier in a striker role because we need you guys to score goals. We need you up there. And the link-up play can kind of develop. Daniel showing love to True City Fan, 100%, one of the GOATs. DC, hi all, showing love to the chat. Now, this is what I want to stress. City don't look like their best, but it's for a reason. And is it reason for concern? No, because I think Pep knows what the winning formula or winning 11 or best instructions by player is. But I think he's getting kind of like the entire team ready for the praise that we typically get when it's noticed, oh, a player can drop and City won't lose a beat, right? A player can be injured, City don't lose a beat. I think that's what he's developing and getting ready for. I think that's what's being set up. So don't get triggered when you hear rivals want to question whether we look at our best or not. I'm not even sure of what the tally is, but I'm knocking on my desk made of wood. We've got a nice undefeated streak going on right now, and so I think Pep's got his plan. He's got his plan. All right, let me do this. Vader game. Okay, got to take this off screen. Gonna have to have the combo. Oh, my lighting. All right, let me do this. Put this on screen. That's gonna annoy me. All right, I gotta put that back on screen now. Why does that cover it up? So weird. All right, I gotta leave that on screen. But let me talk about this. Pressure. They want to ask the question, who's under the most pressure? Who's stressing, right? Who's got the stress? And there's pressure for different reasons. It takes 4 years to be able to challenge for a four-peat, right? And not only that, it's not as simple as it only takes 4 years to go challenge for a four-peat, but it takes you winning back to back to back to be able to challenge for a four-peat. And I'm going to bring my man Mancunian Way Martin into the mix shortly. But there's this four-peat pressure self-inflicted, obviously, chance in a lifetime to be able to execute. So that's the pressure that we have. It's not. It's a self-inflicted one. It's by choice. It's not an expectation, but it's one of those. If you have a chance to do it, you got to go after it. And I think some of our fan base, some members of our fan base, know how close it is. Like, they can feel it, they can taste it. And their reactions after draws or losses, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that that's why they're having this meltdown. I think that's why they're reacting the way they are, because of the chance at a four-peat. I don't know, True City Fan or Martin, if you guys see that differently. And again, Martin's channel details are in the description, so please subscribe. Get him to 4K. But Martin, do you think the four-peat pressure is what's getting to our fan base?
Like, you come to me with this question after last night's show. And by the way, it's great to have you back, Vader, and it's great to be on a show with Pat again.
Thank you.
Hope you're all okay. Is the pressure getting to us? No. Is it getting to some? Yes. Yeah. I think they're seeing what Arsenal are doing and what Liverpool are doing goals-wise. Because here's the thing. I don't think Liverpool especially are not playing better football than us. They're not blitzing. They're not like playing this sexy football when you look at the games in context.
Yeah, keep talking.
They're having dodgy 40, 50-minute games, performances, and then turning it on with the last 30. It's like this thing of City conceding chances. And yeah, we are. We're playing a very different way, though, this season than we've ever played. We've gone back to this fullback system. Wing-back system, sorry, not full-back. And we're just trying to fit people in to suit. I mean, I did a little bit of digging this week. I was trying to find out why the Alvarez situation was occurring. And I found out Pep really likes Alvarez. And Haaland likes to play with Alvarez. So that's a lot of the time why you're seeing Alvarez starting a lot of games with Haaland. Haaland wants to play with Alvarez. Does it suit our system, Fuller? Not system. What's the word? Suit our players. That are around.
Okay.
Yeah, our setup. No, probably not. Probably not. But Pep, Pep, when Pep falls in love with a player, he falls in love with a player. And he's got all that love for Julian Alvarez. Absolutely adores him. Loves him to the hilt. And I just think, see, it's February, 23rd?
Yeah.
At the moment, we've won 12 out of 13 in third gear, probably.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm telling you now, we will hit fourth and fifth gear, March, April, when it matters. Somebody's going to get on the end of a good hiding from us. It could be Saturday, could be the derby. Because at some point, because it's not like we're not creating chances.
Yeah.
You look at our stats-wise, and you know me, I'm not a stats guy, but we're creating 25-plus chances a game.
Yeah.
At some point, those chances are going to go in the onion bag. They're going to go in, and we're going to stick 5 and 6 past someone. But I do think there's pressure by some fans. I think that's because of Pep Guardiola. But where I struggle is, I have debates of the summer window was poor, which you know.
Hold on. The summer window was poor because we didn't get the targets, or because of the targets we got?
So, a bit of both from the debates I've seen. That's not my view. I'm talking about debates I've been on, spaces I've been on. Like Nunes and Kovacic have not been given any kind of a chance by some fans. Doku, you know, people forget he's 21, he's young. Gavadio, 21. But if you look at all of our summer signings, they've all had criticism thrown at them by some version of the fan base.
Yeah.
You know that yourself.
No, I do. But there's no point.
So,
but this is where it's a little frustrating because we can't have experienced quality leave and get youthful experience quality in, like, because youthful quality needs to develop. So like the harshness on a Jeremy Doku or a Gavardio, you know what I mean, like, or Nunes, I don't know. I'm now already thinking to next season. When
next season is going to be very different.
Oh
and
my
yes,
God!
I have heard one or two things.
But the new signings of next season, that the signings that we've already secured, right?
Yeah.
I'm just expecting the fan base to be just as ruthless or impatient as they were, which is crazy to me. But
no, because I personally think the summer window will make fans happy.
All right. We'll get into that. Another time, because that's actually that'll be a topic for another show. But
I highly doubt they'll be happy though.
Wait, what? Say that again.
I'm saying I highly doubt they'll be happy. Because,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because every time we get somebody, they find something, you know. So I'm saying I highly doubt. But then
so back to the question then, Pat. Later, if fans are not happy with the signings, why are we expecting a 4-peat or a treble?
Because they look at our competition and they think that they're just as weak, or they look at the competition and don't believe that they've strengthened, which I think is an underestimation, which isn't. It
is, and that's the thing.
Of course, it is.
Like they're expecting the 4-peat and saying, but look, to be honest with you, I'm not listening to anybody because I know Kovacic is quality, and you and me, we saw Kovacic what he did to us every time we played against him at Chelsea.
Yeah.
We know what Nunes is. Nunes was one of the guys everybody wanted, and we got him. Pep wanted him. So people are just ungrateful. I don't know who they can get out there who is better than these players.
Spot on, absolutely spot on. And they were never. And what I think probably didn't help was you had the Bellingham stuff, you had the Declan Rice stuff. So in fans' minds are going, oh, Bellingham, oh, Declan Rice. And then you go to Mateus Nunes, and I think some fans have gone, that's a bit of
that's why I asked the question.
Where you hear this panic buy. Yeah, you've heard someone say panic buy.
Yeah.
Doesn't panic buy.
Yeah,
we don't.
That's why I asked the question. Is it because of the players that we are projected to get and didn't get? To who we ended up getting? Yeah. Okay.
But the thing is, it also comes down to an individual point of view. Like my version of what I'm happy with might be different to what Pat's version of what he's happy with is, or your version, or somebody else's version. Like me, I'm just happy if we win the Premier League. If we don't win the Premier League, like I said, if we don't win anything, I'm not going to sit and have a raging rant for 45 minutes about how crap Pep is and the team is and blah, blah, blah. I know others will. That's just the way they probably react. And some of it is also a protection mechanism because some are getting excuses in early. If we don't win the league, it's because we had a poor transfer window.
Yeah.
So they've already got their shield up, ready to go.
I'm gonna say this, and Letty goes, Marvin, those fans are crazy, to be honest with you. Daniel also points out, if we sign someone like Neto in the summer, I don't see Savio staying at City. We'll probably get loaned out unless someone leaves. Because we have Grealish, Doku, Oscar Bob, and Bernardo on the wing.
That's where a lot of fans are wrong, I think so. You're forgetting that we've been complaining that we're playing midfielders as wingers. My view is Pep wants to have enough in the wing so that he doesn't have to bring somebody like Bernardo Silva if he stays, which I highly doubt at this point in time, if he stays. But I also see a future for Jack in the midfield. Foden, I think, permanently will be a midfielder. I think this is the thing by Pep to say, I am tired of taking people who I can utilize in midfield and sticking them in the wings for the sake of me to have somebody there. So look about it. Even if Neto or Savio both come in, I still think that's good enough to cover the wings. Let's not forget, we used to have good cover in the wings, not force people like Bernardo Silva to be there. Bernardo Silva is more strong down the middle if he stays. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. You don't
yeah.
want you don't want Paqueta coming in. Let's say if he comes in by any chance, being stuck to the wing again because we lack of wingers. And Martin, the funny thing is also right now as we speak, everybody keeps complaining that we have a lack of natural right wingers, which is true. Now we're getting right wingers. People are saying, "Oh, this one will leave." I don't think they'll leave. Don't even forget, we also have a lack of left wingers. We actually have a lack of left wingers if you think about it.
The one thing I will say is this is what I've been told reportedly. I'll say reportedly, so I'll cover myself.
All right.
The plan for Savio is to have a look at him in pre-season. He will go to America. They will watch him, have a look at him, and then make a decision. There has been no decision made on Savio's future right now.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
No
Again,
decision. One thing I will tell you is expect Neto in a blue shirt next season.
You said don't or do?
Do.
Do. Okay. All right. All right. We little exclusive early info happening right now.
And Paqueta. I would expect both him and Paqueta in.
Okay. Okay. Let me shout out my man Dre P in the building. It's been a minute. He goes, "Hey guys, just want to say that City is doing well to defend the trouble. Very well, and it's such a small margin, like the draw to Palace, else City would be top of the league." It's true. And again, this is why I brought up this pressure, right? We drew to Palace. There were meltdowns after that game. Drew to
do you want
Chelsea,
another exclusive, by the way?
Meltdowns.
Another exclusive.
Mhm.
Edison will sign a new contract.
I love hearing that. We need to keep the best keeper in the world, definitely in the Prem, with us. And I just saw recently he was the quickest to get to, what is it, 109 clean sheets?
Yeah, he got there quicker than Joe Hart. But listen, big up to Joe Hart, who's retiring at the end of the season.
Yeah,
City legend for me.
I agree. Man was a true shot stopper in the sense of the word. Proper.
Isn't it weird though that we're in the summer again, Pat and Beta, and our summer plans are all hinging back on the same player again for the last 4 years? Will this saga ever end?
I don't think so. Bernardo is always going to be mentioned in the summertime. Daniel goes, "If Bernardo leaves us in the summer, I will genuinely cry. Special footballer. He's key. He's been key. I like the bulldog in him, man. He's a fighter. But I think what we're seeing is Pep's also realizing. I'm not saying that we're it's like a hostage thing, but we need to be able to move on past him when it's time for him to go. And I think those are some of the moves that we're seeing right now. Now, the pressure, this City 4P pressure, it is what it is. We accept it. You know, some of us react to it differently. But we're also not exclusive to the whole pressure. We're not the ones solely dealing with it. Let me try and do this on screen if I can. Try and take it off. All right. Now, we all deal with pressure in different ways. We all navigate with it, whether it's us individually or our fan bases. And for whatever reason, Liverpool managed their pressure by always deflecting, by always projecting, by never taking on the title or the honor of being favorites. They love to move like underdogs. And this season in particular, it's very unique because, and I've been conflicted with this for a really long time because Liverpool are second most decorated club. Obviously, it's between them and United. But for them being so decorated, they love to move like underdogs. For them, quote unquote, having the best manager pound for pound, they love to move like underdogs. And Klopp's legacy is under pressure. City dealing with a four-peat, the potential at a four-peat and moving that way, there's that pressure. Of course. But now with Klopp making the announcement, and ever since he made the announcement, Patrick, Martin, I went out as soon as I heard the news. I'm not a smoker at all, but birth of my son and daughter, smoked a cigar. Other milestones for family members, cigar. I've actually went out and got myself a cigar for the Klopp announcement and him leaving the Prem. And in honor of Klopp and Liverpool, this will not be enjoyed until when the season's over. But that announcement in itself is pressure. Klopp's last season has now put pressure not only on the players, but the organization, because now they've got to figure out where are they going to go next, who's going to replace him. And then look at what it's done to ticket prices. try and get a Liverpool, try and get Liverpool game tickets now, right? It's Klopp's last dance. It's his last hurrah. So that's put tremendous pressure, because now I'm speaking from a fan standpoint. If a fan is going out and spending double, triple, 4 times the cost, you better give me a performance. You better give me something to celebrate. So Liverpool and their underdog movements, see past it, whatever. That's how you move. Weak mentality. Klopp's legacy and his pressure, it's tremendous. And I'm curious to see how they play against Chelsea this weekend. And I'll throw this to you, Patrick. Do you think the announcement was a positive, or more of a positive, or more of a negative for Liverpool and their goals for the season?
I don't know. I would put it as both. Because first of all, I think I was having an argument with someone saying this might be bad for the league or bad for everybody. And they were like, why? I was like, because they knew this last season, according to rumors, but now they've publicly done it. It's as if you're putting pressure on fans to give one last push, and then you're giving pressure on the players. So far, it looks like it's become an advantage, because ever since that particular announcement, I think the only defeat is Arsenal. But it looks like even if he doesn't play his first team, they are coming back for the second half, playing with their hearts out. And it looks like it's not even tactics anymore. It's just playing with their hearts out, trying to win games for him. And I have a feeling they want to win a treble for him. I think they want to just win it for him. And that's why I see it. Maybe it might be an advantage. For now, I see it as an advantage. But where I see it as a disadvantage is maybe in the later stages, that particular desire to win him something might shoot them in the foot, like it did when they wanted to win the quad and make history. And when they started talking quad talk, I remember Trent going online saying 1, 2, 3 more left, as if somebody said they owe him those. And those three never arrived, you know. So I don't know. I have a feeling that maybe for now it looks like it's bringing a positive play, but maybe in the last minute, when things are not going that way, with that desperation to impress him like that. Because to be honest with you, Luton Town somehow forgot to play football and came out as if they never wanted the boy anymore. But if they continue these injuries, let's make Klopp happy, keep them that high. Because if you play against City and other teams, like even United, as bad as United are, they'll still put you away. If you're playing non-quality players, not saying that what they have right now is not quality, but just saying the quality is different when you've got players like Salah, Trent on that pitch playing for you, people like Jota. So I don't know. I'm looking at it as an advantage right now because it is working out. Because let's be honest. I know sometimes we sort of hate, but if you look deep down in it, some of those players are giving passion. It's so passion, even the academy players.
No, but see, this is where I want to kind of correct a little bit. I have no doubt that it's given more motivation or to your point, passion. But I think when you know something's your last, do you find that there's more freedom there, or is there pressure knowing that it's your last? Like whether it's your last vacation before going back, and it's going to be a long stretch work wise, or it's going to be the last time that you're going to be able to experience something. There's always that little that angst. There's always that like, oh, if it doesn't happen, you know what I mean? So I get that the players would probably have a added motivation, and there's probably like some more energy that they have because they want to do this for Klopp. But then when things aren't quite working out right, I don't know.
We haven't got there yet, though, have we? That's the problem. It's hard to decide because they haven't hit the bump in the road, so to speak, yet. I think we'll only know the answer until they hit that bump. And the funny thing is, sorry, like Luton the other night, Pat's spot. For 30, 40 minutes, Luton wanted to have a game of football. And it's like, that old saying, like, you scored too early.
Yeah.
It was a bit like Luton had scored too early. And then they went one up and went, tell you what, we're going to sit back now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I look at it and I think if that had been an Arsenal or a City or even a Tottenham, I think Liverpool could have struggled with that 11.
Yeah.
Because you look at that 11 and I'm not scared of it. No way. It looks like a League Cup 11. And that's no disrespect. It does.
Wait. How are you going to say that and say that's no disrespect?
Because they've got 10 players out there. They've got 10 players out.
Yeah, but that's not our fault.
No, I'm not saying it is. What I'm saying is we won't know. Luton's not a good tester for that.
Yeah, but listen,
that's the problem.
The same thinking rationale. Liverpool, again, second or first most decorated club in England. There's no sympathy for 5, 8, 9 players out, right?
No, I don't. There's no sympathy. I'm not feeling sorry for him.
Now, I want to follow up on this a little bit because Luton Town should have continued attacking them rather than play them like the same old Liverpool. Like, if they played their attacking style, they got the goal. We all recognize that they didn't have the same amount of players that they typically have. They showed vulnerability. They should have continued to attack them as opposed to treat them like old Liverpool and maybe let's try to just defend for our lives and leave here. So I totally agree with you, and hopefully, as a rival to Liverpool, hopefully other clubs recognize that and choose to attack Liverpool as opposed to just not putting those players that aren't usual starters in a position where they can be a little more comfortable. Because I think pressing them and forcing them to make decisions is actually more beneficial to a Luton Town and other clubs like that. Let me quickly go to the comments. Can you imagine if Liverpool won the quad? They would have bragged about it more than they do about the Beatles. Oh my gosh. And Black. Now, listen, for the goodness, for the purity of football, they could not have won that quad. Not Liverpool. Liverpool, the club, the fan base, they're not. They should never have that honor.
They can win a quad. They can't win.
Nope. Not even a quad. Nope.
Because I'm sorry, I've never heard Liverpool fans suddenly throw the Europa League into a treble all of a sudden.
But
that was never on the cards.
No,
and now it's suddenly on.
Yeah. No, I don't even want them to have a quad. Not even. My man Flawless says he calls it a baby quad. I don't even want it to be a baby quad. Roll wants to say, with Ange's style of play, if Spurs scored first, they would have been on Liverpool's throat for the rest of the game. It's a good point. Dre P in the building. Credit to Liverpool versus Luton as well, because they scored offset pieces. If City does better on Oh, on the many set pieces they get, Liverpool has no chance. You know what? Our set piece game does need some revamping. There was a spell where we could like confidently, I shouldn't say confidently, but we would look to be like, you know what? Diaz is going to get on the end of one of these corners or one of these set pieces. Ake is going to give us one or two. You know what I mean? That's kind of been missing for us for a bit, but we'll see. We'll see. I do find that there's an adaptation, there's an evolution coming with regards to how effective Holland's going to be with regards to the box, because either by being a decoy, but the stature of the man, he's going to have to be a threat, and that's something to develop in his game. Rowan goes, Vader, Liverpool is playing boring football. Trust me, man. Liverpool's football is like, you ever drop a box of cereal? Or you ever drop like crayons or marbles? That's what Liverpool football is. It's never the same. And it's like luck. Or you know what? This is what it is. Liverpool football is putting a bunch of paint cans or little paint brushes, all with different colors of paint, throwing it against the wall and calling it art. It's so random. It's so random, these Liverpool games. Klopp is a manager on vibes, and the one thing that I do give them credit on, which is systematic, which is consistent, and there's a reason why their their most successful Prem winning manager in Jordan Henderson and James Milner. The reason why they were at that club as long as they were is because Klopp demands that you run for him, and if you're able to run for him, you're able to outlast the opposition. You're going to be able to be successful in a system because, again, even in Luton Town, if his team are able to run and outlast the opposition, they get the results. And they could be boring, but you know they're going to be running the entire game. Dre P, exactly. Liverpool is like the most stacked and funded team in Europe. In Europa, not winning is a failure. 100%. Not winning is a failure. The pressure that they have, it is unique because it's the final year. Whether they use that pressure in a positive way, because you can turn coal into diamonds, we'll wait and see. But I do think there's also, which Liverpool fans don't want to talk about, and I'm making my voice real dramatic for dramatic sake. Klopp finished behind Mikel Arteta last season. For the last few years, and I haven't fully crafted out this agenda yet. So on CIA intelligent agendas, I'm going to expand on it more. But it's supposed to be a Klopp Pep era, or a Pep Klopp era, however you want to describe it.
Thank you. Someone's finally saying it.
It's supposed to be that. But just look at how many times Klopp has not finished close to Pep. And look at last season when he finished behind Mikel Arteta. If it happens again in a Klopp Pep era, in a Pep Klopp era, no, that
Here's one for you. I'll put it back for you.
Run. Go ahead.
In the 8 years he's been here, 8 or 9 years, he's finished in the top two or three times.
Disgusting. And you want to call it a Pep Klopp era?
I looked it up the other day. This thing of it's been, listen, Liverpool are a fantastic team. Klopp is a great manager, not denying that. But everyone slags Arteta off. Everyone slags other teams off and other managers off. But I don't know why Klopp has got this shield around him where he's against criticism. Have you ever noticed when Liverpool finished third or fourth, it's a transition season?
Yes. Yes.
If City finish fourth, it's a crisis.
Yeah.
And this is what happens. Different managers are looked upon on different levels and different things, and that is the problem. I was discussing this today with Judge Mo, and I said, well, it's like this, this City defending and this City chances. I said, well, every team's doing that. Yeah, but you shouldn't be doing it because you're Manchester City. I went, okay then, because
you know why?
There's this talk of City have conceded more goals than anybody else, and we're like 4 behind Liverpool, we're 1 behind Arsenal and conceded.
Yeah.
But the way people talk is though we've conceded 150 goals.
But this is it. This is it. And you know what? We're gonna do listen, I'm so happy to be back, and I want to show love to everyone in the comments as well. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback, and thank you for the kind messages and recognizing that I'm back. And Edison, my guy, IAGA, we battled it out. But this is where we're going to expand on this on CIA intelligent agendas, because the reason why they're so dismissive, or they want to talk about the way they talk about City is it's expected. It actually diminishes what the players do. When they're so lazy to say, oh, it's expected of City, we can't do anything great anymore. We can't do anything of any real consequence or success, because they're just going to label it, or they've been labeling it as that's expected of City. So we're gonna break that down. We're gonna do it proper. We're gonna do it intelligently and point out that no, it's not just it's City. You're expected to do this because we, Manchester City, aren't the top spenders. We, Manchester City, don't have the deepest squads. Yes, we have quality. I'm never going to sit here and tell you that we don't have quality to our squad. I'm never going to tell you that the fact that we've won many trophies isn't significant. But it's not a right to take that experience or the fact that you won trophies into the next season. Look, you think I would have... My confidence would be higher, and I think many City fans would have tremendous high confidence if Ilkay Gundogan was remaining here, because again, that's been there, done it, know how to get it done. But when you have players leave your club like him, Mahrez, even Laporte, because Laporte was leaned on, we're not the same club, and others are strengthening around us. So listen, we're going to deal with it on CIA, but with regards to the Klopp legacy, listen, Martin, true City fan, all of you in the chat, we back our team. We back City winning. But if Liverpool finish behind Arsenal, Mikel Arteta, again, I already don't believe that it was I already don't want to call it a Pep Klopp era, because when you really break it down, it's not that. And I get it. Liverpool, they got the best PR propaganda in the league, in the world. So that's kind of stuck. It's quick to say. And we've really only had to fight, because it did come down to 1 point twice, that it's been battles, but it was not an era. It was not an era. The era is where it's over exaggerated. And if Klopp finishes behind Mikel Arteta Arsenal, that is dead. That era is officially dead. So that's more pressure. That's more pressure on there.
Here's the funny thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
If Arteta finished second, some Arsenal fans want him sacked. Do you see how mad it is? Do you see how mad the different fan bases work? Klopp finishes third is transitional.
100%.
Arteta finishes second, he's crap, get him out. What a new manager. He spent 250 mil.
Yeah, crazy.
I think that's just, there's different levels. It's like points wise, statistically, we are better off right now than what we were last season.
Ooh, don't say that. I don't want them to know that, though. Martin, I don't want them to know that.
No, but they are. We're looked at as a worse team as last season.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't know what we're judging anymore. I don't know what we're judging teams on anymore. I don't know what we're judging Manchester City on anymore. This is where I get confused sometimes on the thinking.
And you know, Martin and Patrick, when we're calm and we're not like overreacting, or we're saying, you know what, yeah, we're kind of like on pace, things are tracking. They think that we're just being dismissive. They think that we're being overly confident or arrogant. But when you compare year over year, I was like, yeah, no, we're where we should be. We're where we should be. Let me do this.
Vader game.
Now, I talked about City 4-peat pressure. I talked about Klopp's legacy final season pressure. We got to talk about Arsenal. Because, again, it is a 3-horse race. The league loves nothing more than this being a 3-horse race. I'm not going to get into calls and on-calls, but results like us drawing to Chelsea, results like us staying close to the pack, the league loves it. And, hey, we know we can't rely on anyone but ourselves to get things done. But Arsenal, Arteta, I know that a large portion of their fan base, again, people react differently. One person not having eaten for 3 days versus a person that hasn't eaten for 20 days is their reaction to things is extreme. And Arsenal and how they're reacting to Mikel Arteta, how they're reacting to some of the results, you kind of get it because they've been starving. But the growing pains that we're seeing from Arsenal, I think it's to be expected. Most recently with Champions League, right? They went up. I know a lot of their fan base talked extremely confident about going into Porto and winning that game and getting a result, but it's Champions League. And if you don't respect it, you're gonna be taught how to respect it. Trust me, I know this. But I'm not killing Mikel Arteta or the players so much with regards to the result of the Champions League. But I think we're seeing the growing pains based off of the performance. To go 90 minutes and not get a shot on target, how do we explain that? Patrick or Martin, how again, I didn't watch the game. I watched the highlights.
Oh, I watched the game.
How do you explain it? Can you explain it?
Do you know, this is what I told Arsenal fans, and when I did my video, I told them that I'm not here to cook you or make fun of you. I just want you guys to realize that you have to learn. They have to learn from City. City came to the Champions League and tried to win it, and we thought we could win it. We were cocky sometimes against Lyon. Now Lyon is 8th in the league. We will beat them. Guess what happened to us? We got beaten over and over again. It's quite funny that Arteta never learned all that and watched all that and said, my friend Pep did not have to play pretty football to win the Champions League. We didn't play pretty football when we won the Champions League. We went to stadiums, took draws, and then beat them at the Etihad. Play smart. The Porto manager said it. We came here to win. They came here to play football. So that's what you have to do.
Great quote.
But don't be cocky. Respect UCL winners. Porto are UCL winners. Arsenal are not.
Spot on. And by the way, did it not remind you of something from last season with Arteta? Does anyone remember Sporting Lisbon?
Yes.
But when they were like, oh, we're going to smash them.
Yeah, they said that. They did.
Yeah, we're going to do this. And this is the thing. Patty's spot on. Arteta should know more than most because Arteta was with Pep for like 4 of those years that we were trailing through this Champions League. Arteta was manager for 1 or 2 of the games. I think he was manager of one of the Lyon games at home.
Yeah. Oh,
so,
my goodness, yeah.
Here's the thing. It is great beating West Ham. It is great beating Burnley. 100%. But the trouble is, Porto did not play the same way on Wednesday night as they did in the league.
Facts.
In the league, they'll go free-flowing, attacking football. Here we go. In the Champions League, they were stubborn as hell. It was, we are not giving you anything. And when they got their chance, albeit wonderful goal, they took it. But now I expect Arsenal to get through, but that is what you call the Champions League. I was guilty of this. It sorts the men from the boys in a way. Because Pat Spot, we kept going in the Champions League thinking we could play Premier League football. Going to Real Madrid, going 1-0 up, and the
Mhm.
89th minute, still trying to get a second and a third goal, and away we go, and leaving gaps all over the back for Real Madrid just to go 1-2 balls, right, you're out of the competition.
Fair.
The Champions
But-
League is unforgiving.
Yes, but this is a huge but. That's Real Madrid. I'm not disrespecting Porto, but there's levels. How do you explain? And again, I watched highlights. I didn't watch the game. I'm gonna lean on you guys. Patrick, how do you explain no shot on target?
Because they did, as Martin is telling you, Porto did what Lyon and all these teams used to do to us. They used to give you the ball, play football, do whatever you want. And there's a difference of quality. Look, the Premier League is interesting because everybody can cook you, everybody can hit you on that day. But the Champions League, you don't disrespect teams, because for the team to reach the last 16, there's quality. Better, these teams have got hidden gems. This is where we go shopping. This is where the big boys go shopping. So eventually, you don't go there and say, "Oh, we'll play our football like in the Prem. This is West Ham. They called it Burnley." Porto fans were not happy, by the way, Veta. Even Ep92, Robbie told the guys who were calling them Burnley that they told him especially that you're lucky your boys are not here. We didn't respect the fact you're calling us Burnley. You're calling us a mid-table team. You said we wouldn't make it in the Premier League. So Porto players were watching all that. They will give you the ball. Don't forget what Lyon fans used to say about us too. They used to say, you guys were mad disrespectful. You guys thought because we were 8th, you could do something. You have to respect these teams. And the way Porto plays, I know Martin says Arsenal go through. Maybe Arsenal will go through. But Martin, let's not forget, Porto will get you a red card. Did you see how many cards Arsenal got compared to Porto? Did you see
Yes.
And you remember, Martin, I don't know if you went to the game. Remember when you were saying you one of the nastiest games you ever saw was against Porto? Remember that nasty game where they knew we went through, but they made it bad for us.
Yes.
They wanted to make sure you're injured, broken.
Yeah.
We were broken by the time
it was like the Atletico game we played. Remember the Atletico game?
Yeah.
Where they were just going to kick absolute lumps out of us. Very much. Remember the other game? It was like, remember the PSG game at home?
Yeah.
Where we battered them. But do you remember, as soon as PSG knew they were out of the game, they changed and they started kicking and throwing everyone around.
Yeah.
Do you remember what one of them got thrown into the advertising boards because they will resort to the dark arts. They won't do that in the Premier League. In the Premier League, and it's because, simple facts, in the Premier League, you get a second, third, fourth, fifth bite of the cherry. In the Champions League, you don't.
I was so angry in
that
Atletico Madrid when we faced them, and we also in a close spell had to play Liverpool and FA Cup and all that. I was like, they were getting stuck in. Obviously, Grealish knows how to rattle players, and it was when you face that and you're not up for it, it can be long. And we obviously we were battle tested. We made it through that leg and moved on. And I think there was a residual.
Inter Milan.
There was
the Inter Milan final. Look at that.
Exactly. That took us to last.
Veta, do you know what's going to happen, Veta? You know what's going to happen in this game, Martin and Veta? They think they think Porto will come to Arsenal, right? Somebody posted the Porto results from the past, Martin, where apparently they went out to Porto and lost 2-1, 2-0, then they came back in the days when Arsenal beat them like 4-0. I told people, I was like, this Porto manager, there's pride, so much pride, and the way he coaches them is the way he behaves. He's like, what he's going to do is he's going to give you 4 CDMs in midfield. He'll give you 4 CDMs, then you have 2 strikers just sitting in the front, ready to counter you whenever they get the chance. They're just going to suck pressure. What's going to happen is you guys will be emotional, and your team is very emotional. You'll be at the Emirates, emotion pushing. I was like, I won't be shocked if one of you gets a red card. I'm telling you, Porto will get you a red card.
The fan base are going to be stressed. They're going to be stressed in that stadium. So there's going to be one thing where they're cheering on the players, but if the fans start moaning and whining based off of what they're seeing the Porto do, that game's going to be crazy.
The best thing Porto can do is get to 0-0 at halftime. If they can get to 0-0 at half time,
That's gonna
that
be wild.
will rank all the pressure right up. And you're spot on. For Arsenal fans to go, oh, it's only Burnley.
Mm.
It's because they haven't learned that yet. And this is my thing with Arsenal fans. Oh, some are quite sensible. They haven't learned from last season.
Yeah, no, you're right. So yes, this is what I want to get to. This is what was the funny part is when Patrick was talking about Arsenal fans looking at what they've done in the past to say, oh, this is what to expect in the future. You know that last year when they were pursuing their Prem title, you know that they were so they were so crazy to say, you know, Manchester City, you guys crashed out of Europa and you guys won the league versus Manchester United. They were looking at what happened to us and saying this is what's going to happen for them last year, and now they're looking at what they've done in the past versus Porto to be like, this is what they're going to do. It's the way some of these fans and they get the whole rationale. It's crazy to me. Listen, Sporting last year for them was very disappointing, but I think it showed to the growing pains that I mentioned. It showed to the growing pains that not only happened for the players, but happened for the happened for the manager. And then there's also the same growing pains that they need to experience, even if it happens to be this season versus Porto. For them to, when we talk about expectations, for them to dismiss Porto and expect for them to move on, it's crazy to me because it's Champions League. You need to respect it. But I'm also looking at it as, you know what? And I know some of the Arsenal fans don't want to accept this, but your manager's learning. He's learning what to do, not to do. He's learning what the players can do, can't do. And I think it's going to bode well for them to be better prepared in the future and for them to be that club or be that manager moving forward. Let me try to go to these comments.
Can I say one more thing for you?
Yeah, of course.
Another thing also, I don't know, Martin and Veda, you've seen, Arteta has to learn to keep his mouth shut. If you've noticed properly, yeah, he roused up the opposition for no reason. He roused up other managers because it's the word this manager was responding to him, and even somebody said on ESPN, he's like, Arteta is going to have to learn to stop speaking as if he's Pep Guardiola or Jose Mourinho or Fergie. He speaks as if he knows football more than others. He speaks as if he's achieved something in the game. You know what I mean? Like, there's no humbleness from him. Look at his press after this game. He was literally saying Porto were playing low-quality football. That's basically what he was trying to say. That's disrespectful. And he doesn't know that even pumps more. Because the manager will just go play that clip. It's like, look at what he's saying after we beat him 1-0. Are we going to let them disrespect us? The players will be like, no.
I like that. Daniel in the building, he goes, Patrick, how many cats do you have? You have a lot of cats, Patrick.
Just one. I think he saw him on the stream.
I saw him on the screen. JP, that's why Pep and City are so great. Don't prioritize comps. Like Arsenal last season, go for everything and win at least something. Love that approach. Listen, win what's in front of you. Prepare at your best to win the game in front of you. And that type of focus can be draining on some. Like, some just can't stay at that level. Some can't remain at that intensity. But the consistency, the determination, the focus is there.
This is why I hate doing this prioritizing stuff. Wherever we land, we land. We go as deep as we can in every comp. When we go out, we go out. If we don't go out, we don't go out. I hate this prioritizing stuff. I really hate it. Because
So Martin, you don't like the question. You don't like the question if you have to choose between an FA Cup, Champions League, or Prem. You don't like being asked that.
No, to me, a trophy's a trophy.
Okay.
Trophy's a trophy. It's like, the trouble is, it's like Liverpool and Chelsea. 9 times out of 10, and Pat, you know this, they'll say the League Cup is a Mickey Mouse trophy. It means nothing.
Yeah, they say that.
But this Sunday, they'll be cheering like it's the World Cup final, and they should be doing that because you should embrace every trophy. This is why I don't get vexed if we go out, because listen, we're going to win trophies again. We might not win him at the consistent basis we're doing when Pep leaves, but we're going to win trophies. You should embrace every single trophy because you never know when this ends. This could all end next season, the season after. Enjoy the ride while we're on it.
Facts.
And that's all it is. Anyway, I've got to drop. A big up to you, mate. I'm so glad you're back, mate.
Thanks,
and big
man.
up to Pat.
Appreciate it.
Much love to you, mate.
Much appreciated. I'm going to do this real quick because, again, the conversation's been great, interaction. I didn't remind anyone, but if you haven't hit that like button, please do so. And please share other City fans, even rivals.
I'll also have to drop it. I'll see you, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, True City Fan. Please.
Appreciate it, man.
No, thanks for being on, man. And thanks for having me on your show early in the week as well. Now, go and subscribe, show love. Like Patrick said earlier, just hit the notify me. Just hit that so it pops up on your phone or device and you can stay it. Last topic. Let me do this nice and clean, by the way.
Vader game.
Now, the last topic is, let me put this on screen. Guys, girls, Pep's key instructions. It's not key players. Right now, and listen, we're gonna go into this in a lot more detail, but I've got these players on screen for a reason because it's been a lot of conversation, a lot of criticism, a lot of why? Why is Pep doing this? Is he being stubborn? Doku year one. Got to get a synergy. Got to get synchronized. Chemistry. Flow. Pep is he's like a maestro. He's like a conductor. Not only is he going to give you the instructions on what he wants you to do, execute within the game, but there's also a timing to it. He knows that defenses, midfielders, even the attack, there's timing that kind of adds more pressure, more uncomfortability to players, and he wants that. And it's going to take a while to develop. Jeremy Doku, from what I thought, his best position was on the right wing. I think he's playing on that left wing, obviously with Grealish being hurt, but he's playing on that left wing to add some versatility to his game so he can play on either side. Foden, we know Foden can play on either wing. We know he can play on that right wing. Pep's had him there just as much as he's had him in the midfield. But we've seen when Haaland was out injured, Alvarez played striker. When KDB was also out injured, Foden playing in the 10. Foden has shown us that is his most preferred. And he's told us in press, right? In interviews, he's told us he prefers to play in the midfield. But I think Pep is challenging, and I don't know if you can see my cursor on screen, my mouse, but Pep has challenged Alvarez because of the quality that he is to play in that 10 as opposed to reverting back to even a 4-4-2 formation or anything like that. But he's got him playing here. And obviously I do this in terms of just ease of mind in terms of understanding where the players are. But we know that he'll move centrally, play off of Haaland. But we've got Alvarez challenged to play in a position that's not his strongest. We've got Foden, again, playing in a position that's not his strongest. But for the sake of the team, for the sake of development, key instructions on how Pep wants us to execute against opposition. Leave Kovacic there. He's not really there for the conversation. But now let's go into the defense. Gvardiol, left center back. That's where he was. That's where we saw him. That's where we were like, yo, Leipzig? Okay, man's dangerous. All right, he scored a goal against us in Champions League. He's of quality. But we have him playing left back as opposed to left center back, and we've got Ake in there. And we, all of us, City fans, rivals would say probably switch that around. They'd probably be better off. But I think Pep is giving them these key instructions to develop their game, like I said, for them to be needed in situations where we don't have the personnel. We maybe have to show some versatility, some in-game tactics or instructions based off of the opposition. And last but not least, it's Akanji. And I've heard it. Why is Pep still putting Akanji in that inverted role? Actually, why is he also having Walker play so far up the pitch, right? We've seen Walker play up here, like out here on the wing. And we know that Walker doesn't give the best crosses or isn't the smoothest player with regards to his touch or delivering the ball or keeping the flow of the game going, right? Although I have seen him, he's sprayed some nice passes, cross-field passes. I don't like it when I see, and you know what? I don't like it when Walker does that has he's about to take a long shot or it's that long windup. I could do with not seeing that, maybe let's see that every 4 games as opposed to every other game. But I think he's challenging both players because I think those are instructions that he's going to want from them based off of the opposition in future games. So let's be patient. Let's recognize that Pep's not an idiot. Pep isn't going to force this on the players if they weren't capable of doing it or if it didn't warrant a type of development for them to be able to apply against certain opposition. But it's a matter of he sees instructions, he sees tactics that he wants, and he's going to have to do it, or he's going to have to get it from the team regardless of the player, or he's going to test the players to see how far they can go with set instructions before abandoning them. Let me try and go to the comments, and I know I kind of got behind on it because I want to get these points out. But love was sent out to Patrick and Martin as they were leaving. Letty goes, can you put the link in the chat for Patrick's channel? Yeah, 100%. 100%. I'll do that. I'll make sure to do that before signing off. And Dre P goes, yo, you know what? Whenever you guys say well said, feel that. Thank you so much. He goes, well said, Vader. And he's honest. He says sometimes what he tries doesn't always work. But when it does, he's a genius. He doesn't have to be perfect because he's brilliant. This is it. And a genius being brilliant, for the most part, that's someone that's just inquisitive. That's someone that's asking questions. That's someone that's testing theories. And I have no problem with it. Sometimes it's going to work. Sometimes it's not going to work. The whole point of even experiments by nature are to try and prove or disprove. So he's testing things out, and I'm not mad at it. We just want to recognize that those tests don't go too far as for us to lose games. Letty, before he got injured, he was starting to show his quality, in my opinion. I agree. Gavardio I think he will be back an even better player post-injury because even being on the sideline, you get a chance to watch and observe. I know that from personal experience. Walker loves that. He does. Letty, it's crazy, man. And I think he's dreamt of the Vincent Kompany moment because he's always trying to get that screamer off, man. Ryan goes, Vader, we're just getting unlucky. I am sure a club will get smoked soon by at least 6 or 7 goals. I would love that. And we need that goal differential to increase. I'm not going to lie. Rose Marie, my gal, what is going on? I'm so sorry for being away so long. I missed you. I hope you're well. Thanks for being in the comments. Vader, Pep the genius is figuring out the best position for each player. Perfection is key. Peaking at the right time, trouble. Woo! Peaking at the right time is right. I'm saying trouble because you're saying trouble. Let's go and get it. Now, let's all remain to be patient. When you hear rivals talk how they want to question Pep, let them do what they do. Let them move like that because I honestly don't think that they remember what we do year after year, what the manager tries to do, how he tests the players, how he comes up with formations. Because you can't just wait until it's broke. You really can't. You can't say, let's run it until they figure figure us out, because by the time they figure us out, it's going to take some time to then develop the next thing. So Pep's doing that as we go, and I respect it. I want to say thank you so very much to everyone in the comments. It was great to be back. I'm going to do my best to promote early, to develop some show ideas. Obviously, we got Why Always Me, we got CIA, and I do feature on some channels. So please show them love when you see me. And also, again, share this channel when you can, like it. I know the likes are probably the most important thing with regards to a channel like mine, as well as the subs. So I thank you for interacting with me with regards to the comments. And we're going to have a lot to talk about post-match in terms of Bournemouth. So I'm going to do my best. I'm not promising Sunday, but Monday. CIA will be back on Monday, or CIA will be back Monday. And we're going to have the agendas. We're going to have the agendas to slap our rivals with. Trust me on that one. I've been developing some ones they're going to stick. They're going to stick, and they're going to require a lot of research from the rivals to kind of dispute. So love as always. Like and subscribe. Listen, let me put out some of these comments. Daniel, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Love to my peeps. Love to my peeps. Thank you, Letty. And did I miss a comment here? Ooh, Dre P goes, yep, people now forget, but the press said at the beginning, Pep will struggle in England. His style won't work. No team will ever win the treble again. Pep earns his trust. Listen, and Pep has he had an amazing quote with regards to how he's been perceived and how his accomplishments kind of get diminished, and when others fail, there's not as much consequence. But you know what? We're going to deal with the standard. We're going to deal with the standard, whether it's going to be our manager, our club, or us as fans. But we remain a humble bunch. I'm going to do my best to fight for you guys whenever I'm featured on anyone's channel. And we've got a game to win versus Bournemouth. It's going to be intense. And next weekend's a derby. So let's handle business first with Bournemouth. Thank you. Hit that like, share, subscribe. I'm Vader Games. This has been Vader Games TV. Why Always Me, episode 93. And we're out.